Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. As you can see, I'm with the beauties. Welcome ladies once again to my channel, Shay, Maya, and Gladys. Oh, I'm so happy to be surrounded with their energy and their beauties today, and we had an amazing time together even before this time that we are in front of the camera. So I really appreciate you ladies, and always excited to be with them. So today we are going to talk about LDR, long distance relationship. So I would just like to ask you girls, what is your opinion on LDR? If you personally experience it, or if you personally know anyone that go through it, what are the challenges? First, in your own opinion, do you think that LDR could work?
I think it's possible to work, and it always depends on how you make it work. It depends on the quality of communication, the commitment that you have with your partner. I personally don't want to be in an LDR relationship because I'm someone who really crave for physical intimacy, crave to be with someone I love. But if I'm away with my partner, I also, because there are times that, Eli is traveling or I am traveling, we're not all the time together. So how can I keep our relationship working even though we're far apart? So there are always ways to make it work, but that's my short answer. We can go deeper later on.
Yes. Thank you, Gladys. What about you, Maya?
For me, I think it will work. It depends because I've seen a lot of couples that they work the relationship, but I think
Personally, for you.
for me personally, I have tried it. I tried having a relationship, and we had to be on long distance relationship, and I think that is a good long distance relationship. Unlike if you just met online and you are in long distance relationship, I think it will not work if the guy is not going to travel here in the Philippines in short, travel right away here in the Philippines. But if he decides to have an LDR, just to have like someone to call a girlfriend, I don't think that will ever work.
Okay, I get your point, because there are these instances where I know people that are like, they haven't even met for like 3 years.
Yeah.
I like really just online
Yeah.
LDR, and then they met and then it clicked. Like, I'm so amazed of that. So let's go to Shay first. What do you think about it?
I think LDRs aren't for the faint of hearts.
Faint of heart.
In my experience, I've always had long distance relationships.
Okay.
But I would say that it is definitely not for
Not for you.
for the weak.
Not for the week.
Yeah, because LDRs, I would say they test the limits of trust, patience, and communication, and it does test those that normal relationships don't. And I would say that you definitely need to have like a really deep commitment to the relationship, and it's pretty hard because you constantly have to choose each other without the comfort of like the physical presence, right? And that's really hard. So I would say that it's not for everybody, but will it
can
work?
work.
It does work for some.
What is like for you is the biggest challenge for LDR? Like the first thing that comes up to mind, I think you have mentioned already about communication. Let's start with you, Shay. You're the last one. You mentioned about communication and patience. But what do you think is like the number one challenge for this work?
I think for somebody like Gladys, she said that she craves that physical intimacy, and I would say the physical intimacy would really suffer. And if you don't have the strong, or if you do not have the strength and the desire to just hold on until you meet each other, then it definitely is not going to work. So I think the physical togetherness
Okay.
is one of the challenges.
Yeah, that's a good one. Any other thing, Maya and Gladys, that you can share about it?
I think for me is the commitment, to be committed with a person, that you're really into this person and you're not gonna entertain other person.
Yeah, and that, I think it also, I would use the word trust, but it still alludes to the commitment part that Maya was talking about. Because sometimes when you're away from each other, not knowing what they're doing in their day-to-day life, and only knowing what they will tell you when you're having a conversation, it's very challenging to build that trust with someone. And I just want to go back to what Maya said before, like, if it's an LDR for just the sake of having someone to talk to, but if you don't have a plan to actually come here in the Philippines and be with your woman, then I would consider it as a joke. Like, I don't see the point of it. I feel like it's quite selfish to actually have a relationship and just let your partner wait for you. Sure. Yeah. Maybe something like pandemic, sure, you can understand that. But if there's no restriction, then try to find ways to actually be able to come here. 1 year maybe is a good stretch for me that I can allow.
Okay, yeah, that's actually my next question. Like, how long before, like, because I know that a lot of the viewers here actually have their Filipinas and they have not met yet. How long do you think is like the correct span, or like the good span, for you to invest emotions, for you to invest energy and time before you're gonna meet in person? So you mentioned 1 year. Please follow up.
Yeah, for me, 1 year is already
That's long.
that's already
that's
a very long stretch to wait for someone. And I'm only talking about someone that I've already met. See, if I haven't met the person, well, actually 1 year is it still work. But in order for that 1 year, in order for me to sustain in that 1 year, we need to have a daily schedule, very like agreed upon schedule, that okay, in this morning let's talk. Because I had a long distance relationship, and my morning is his afternoon. So before I sleep, I will make sure that we call, and he would have to wake up 1 hour before his work just so we could actually catch up. In my break time at work, I also have to like allocate that so that we can communicate. My workmate before are telling me like, oh, extended shift as a call center. Because I'll still be speaking English with, communicating with my partner that time. So yeah, 1 year can work in waiting as long as you have that consistent communication.
For
Thanks,
me,
Gladys.
6 months. I have tried the
6
long
months.
distance relationship, and I think it lasted. I waited until 6 months. He said he will come, but he never
He
did.
never-
So I said,
Okay.
no, thanks. Just stay there, and I'll find somebody.
I like the way she said, no thanks.
Somebody close.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to have a long distance relationship because the longer you wait, the there's doubt, and there's because I don't know, but sometimes we fall in love even if we didn't meet them in person. Just talking to them, knowing them through exchanging messages, and then we fall in love with them and we make plans, and they don't they don't do what they promise, and it's painful. It's painful to have a long distance
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah, can you, what about you, Shay? How long?
I am
1 year, 6
surprised.
months? 6 months, okay.
I am surprised by Gladys's answer because she craves for physical intimacy and she could
Yeah.
actually go for a year without it.
Yeah, that is actually surprising.
Okay, so if I already met the person, 6 months is actually already long for me. Yeah. 1 year is like, I don't know.
Mm.
It would be different if like let's say for example my partner is already planning for his retirement
Yeah.
and he needs 1 year, one more year to stay with his job,
Okay.
and that I can definitely accept because
Okay.
after that we're gonna be together unlimited time, like
Mhm.
uninterrupted, right? But if the case isn't like that, 1 year is already very long.
Mhm.
6 months is long. Never
So-
mind about 1 year.
So how many months or for you?
3 months.
3 months. Okay.
Yeah.
They're actually the same. Yeah.
I like to have my partner really close to me, something I can touch.
Yeah.
There's somebody I can touch. Somebody I can touch. Yeah. Not somebody, but my partner.
Yeah, thank you, Shay, for that. So, 3 months, 1 year, 6 months, 3 months. So yeah, because it's not easy also to invest time and energy, and then at the end of it, like it's nothing. As you said, it's so painful, and yeah, you're most patient because you can go through that span. But as you said, it really depends if it's worth it as well. Do you have any friends or do you know anyone personally that has LDR kind of relationship and then you see that it worked?
For me, in my experience, how it lasted for why the relationship is still there even despite the distance is aside from communication, and again I'm into intimacy, and I make sure that we, even when we're far apart, we can still be intimate with each other. And I created videos about this in my channel. How can you have a sexy chat with your partner? How can you bring in dirty talks with your partner just to ignite that intimacy, to spice it up? And we need to have that. Otherwise, it would be so stale. The relationship would be so boring. So that's my key to keep it alive and to keep the connection together is first be as open, be the naughtiest, sluttiest girlfriend you can with your partner. You want to always seduce your partner so that they would want you, and the same thing, you want your partner to keep turning you on. And for me, other people would say, oh, sex is less priority. Maybe it's not the only priority, but I would put that in the list. And it's good when you have expanded view of sexuality as well, because sex is not just about penetration. You can have orgasm, you can be sexually fulfilled even when you're far apart. And it could just be simply as calling each other, dirty talking, and those type of things. So yeah, those are key and proven and tested for myself. It can work.
What about you, Maya? What's your key? That's her key. What's your key? What's your key to spice up the LDR if you're into it?
Oh, I think the same as
Same. Okay.
Gladys, dirty talking and video calling. Saying the right words.
Saying the right words. What about you, Shay? I'm curious. Are you open for that?
I would always, number one for me would be intellectual conversation.
Yeah, because you're
That turns me on. Yeah. Number one would be intellectual conversation. Number two would be being or seducing your partner. I mean, not really. I don't want to say that as seducing my partner, but just not it talking
Okay.
to your partner. I
Mhm.
think that's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in any, I mean, in any romantic relationships, that has to be one of the ingredients
Yeah.
of
LDR or not.
LDR or
It's
not.
yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, those are my top two actually.
Mm.
And the third one would be constant communication, because that's really like the top ingredient to like really be uh how would I say that, you need to constantly update each other,
Yeah.
because there is no way of knowing.
Yeah.
Uy, nga no. There is no way of knowing what the other person is doing,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
we all have insecurities in life.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we all have insecurities, and if we don't hear from them like for a few hours or
Exactly.
yeah, or a few minutes, we would think, what is he doing? Who is he with right now? And I think that is very normal. It's not because we are Filipinas and we are jealous,
Yeah.
or Filipinas are known to be very jealous, but it's just really normal in an LDR setup. Because again, you cannot see the other person, and you cannot touch him, or you cannot do anything with him in person. So yeah, constant communication.
How do you handle miscommunication? Because that's the thing about the LDR, and especially that there's cultural differences, plus I really have to cultural differences, and plus the choice of words also play a role, and especially the cultural differences. Like for example, some words in their country is like very sensitive, but for us it's nothing.
Yeah.
How do you, or what can you suggest in this? Because I think a lot of people can relate to this. How do you deal with miscommunication, especially when it comes to cultural differences?
I wish I knew this back then because I just knew it now, and I'm glad I did. And it's good to be aware that there are cultural differences. It doesn't have to do with your partner. They're not wrong. You're not wrong. There's just a misunderstanding, and you have to clear it. And I'm grateful that I have come across books, mentors, that I was able to learn some ways of how to communicate better with my partner. First is I look at the pattern, like, oh, these are triggering words for him. And instead of in the defensive, blaming, arguing, I default to curiosity. Like, hey, why do you react so strongly when I say this? And he would then explain to me, this words means like you're disrespecting me. You're no. So let's say for an LDR, if I will just relate this, most common issue is if I'm not able to communicate right away, then there's a sense of mistrust. Like, oh, what are you doing? And even if I told him, like, I'm in the toilet, like, I want to see you. And that for me is so triggering because you're not taking me up on my words. And so, but at that time, I'm not understanding him. I am just in a reactive mode of, okay, I will show you and then I will not talk to you anymore. But I haven't even communicated that. I just video call, and then once he saw me, I didn't message for. It's like my way of punishing him is not to talk to him, which is not a good default. So now I learned that instead of trying to be in a reactive mode, try to be in a curious mode of why does it very triggering for him? Why is he in a state of not trusting me right now? And ask him a question like, hey, I noticed that you are more sensitive right now. Because maybe what happened is that he had some issue at work. His boss triggered him and made him feel incompetent, and he is trying to connect with you and to have that safe space with you, but because you're not there, the residue of his experience is still, he's still trying to portray that with you. So if only you can understand where they're coming from, then you would be able to react better. But it takes a lot of awareness, and it's very challenging to not be able to react.
Thank you. I really like the way you switch that into into that healthy instead of being reactive and just attacking. You switch it into something that needs to work on between you both. So that's good. What about you, Maya? What's your idea?
Yeah, I agree with Gladys about understanding where they are coming. But for me, I I would just keep quiet and try to analyze, because this is based on my experience, because I am the type of person that if there's like a argument, misunderstanding, I would just keep quiet and let that person talk. And in my relationship with Gio is the one who talks and I'm the one who just keep quiet. When he's angry or upset, he tends to talk a lot, trying to defend himself, but I just let him talk and I would just keep quiet. And when I'm ready, because I don't want to be like say the wrong words or mean things that would hurt him and would make things worse, you know. So when I'm ready, I'm calm and I'm not I'm not angry anymore. So I will start explaining to him. I will try to understand him, that his where he's coming, and I will try to understand my side also. So that's my way of feeling different culture.
I like that too, because at least you know that, okay, I need space for now. I'm not gonna speak out for now, and later I'm gonna deal with it. So that's cool. That's cool too. What about you, Shay?
I love how Gladys mentioned about reaction or reacting, because I think that many of us Filipinos are good reactors.
Yes.
We always react to something, and that's very prevalent on social media. Like if you see something that you don't like, you make a comment. So, and it's also like that on relationships, right? So, and also that's a reminder for me to be like, hey, you need to be mindful. You need to be demure. Because like you said, there are words that are triggering the other person. And like this example, if my partner says something and it triggers me, I get mad. And then, like I mentioned this in the previous videos, where if it's long distance relationship, if I'm in a long distance relationship, I want to be left alone before we can talk about it, which is the total opposite. When my partner is already here, I want to talk about it now. I cannot, like, we don't need to wait to talk about it tomorrow or the next day. No, we need to talk about it now. So it's very contrasting how I look at both relationships. But yeah, on LDR, how I deal with miscommunication is everything is repairable through communication. From the word itself, miscommunication, communication, proper communication is missing, right? So, but I think how I deal with it is I just want to be left alone. Like, let's say we had a misunderstanding today. Let's talk about it tomorrow, because it's gonna take me time to like get rid of these, you know, from my body. So tomorrow I'll be okay. We can talk about it and try to you know, talk about how we can prevent this from happening again.
Thank you so much. Those are just amazing tips and advice and insights for this, because this is, for me, it's really a big challenge to have a relationship with distance. And so thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. So that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. And for those who are new, Gladys and Love is the channel. Maya Life in the Philippines and Life with Shay. Please follow them for those who are new. Thank you so much for your time, for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video.